with the throat chakra. You're ready to share your work. You're ready to move on into the upper chakras. There's a little note. We've reached the upper chakras now. We've crossed that bridge of the heart. And now we're in the throat chakra. And what are we doing in the throat chakra? Well, we're developing our sense of authenticity. We are feeling safe. We know what we want. We're going in that direction. We're loving ourselves through it all. We're ready to share it with the world. We're ready to speak it. We're ready to be it. We're ready to be recognized as it. Important. Important. So you're developing authenticity. What you're focusing on is revealing your true self to the world. Ooh, did that make you feel uncomfortable? The idea of revealing your true self to the world? Put a little star. Put a little star next to this one. If that made you feel a little queasy, revealing your true self to the world. Oh, but it's a big one, right? I mean, how are you going to be in your creative power, your creative destiny if like nobody can see you? How are you going to change the world if nobody sees you? Okay. We're going to work through this together. So don't be scared, but make a note of it that that's an area you need to work on. So what are we working through? Well, we're working on being seen. We're working on feeling comfortable being seen. We're working on feeling comfortable openly expressing ourselves to other people, articulating what it is we do, right? If you go to an event and someone says, well, what do you do? Or what kind of books do you write? Or what kind of art do you make? And you go, "Bip, bip, 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 bip." That's a throat chakra issue among many other things, but that's a very good red flag that you've got throat. If you can't articulate smoothly, you feel like, well, what did that pitch template tell me to say? I don't remember. Um, you're not comfortable yet in your throat chakra to speak freely and openly about, I do this. I write fantasy novels about bear pirates and blackheads who are guided by heart compasses. Don't steal that, by the way, that's mine. But do you see how freely and fluidly I just told you about the project that I'm like a middle grade novel idea that I'm working on? Like, just say it. You just say it openly, freely. I am who I am, take it or leave it. Some people don't like that. Oh, well, bye. Like, you can be seen, you can openly express. But if you have past trauma with public speaking, maybe you got on stage and you forgot all the words. Maybe you tried to share something with your mom and dad when you were a kid and they didn't understand it. And they were like, huh? Scratching their heads, and you thought, oh, people don't get me. I cannot share who I really am because they don't get it. I must be weird. Like, I must be really weird. And it's like they act like I'm speaking a different language. You're not speaking a different language. You're speaking your language. Okay. And we're going to work through those experiences and tell ourselves a different story about why that happened. Okay. Um, if you have experienced situations with mandated conformity, what do I mean by this? This could be like being in a religious sect where you all had to look the same, or having really strict parents that were like, you are not allowed to be heard. Like, do not speak, stand there and be quiet, right? That whole children are meant to be seen and not heard thing. If that was a thing in your life, that's that mandated conformity. That's that silencing of your voice, of your expression, major throat chakra trauma. And so as you're thinking about anytime you've had your voice stifled, anytime that you've had an experience where you felt like you tried to come out to be seen and you were shut down or you were not understood, write that down. what we're wanting to do when we're in this phase of our journey is get real clear on our voice, on our style, get real clear on why we're here, what we're doing, and really be able, again, to articulate it outward, to express outward. All of that inner stuff that we just did. This is why the throat comes after the heart. All that inner stuff, we cross the bridge. Now it wants to come out. It wants to come out of us. All that inner stuff wants to come out. So it's really important that we clear up this space to start sharing it, start showing up in public, start articulating what we do to people. And moving through those experiences, rewriting those experiences. What you want to avoid at this stage in your journey is staying silent, obviously, hiding in the corner and not speaking up. Or if you have an idea about how something could be done and you let someone else railroad you and just like you go, okay, we'll just do it your way. Like you conform to what other people want. um, it, it does relate in some ways to solar plexus. So of course, if you move through your solar plexus issues and through into the heart, you shouldn't have too much of that because you're really established in your self-confidence and your feelings of empowerment to stand up for yourself. But you could still have trouble saying it, like speaking it, and fear of retribution if you speak it, right? So we got to work through those things so that we can avoid that. Because why? We want to embrace our authenticity. We want to be ourselves. We want to be free. We want to be free. We don't want to be bound by these rules of what we can and can't say, and when we can and can't say them. We want to say who we are, what we do, and just be free. We also, when we can articulate our authenticity, we attract our mirrors. We attract people who get us. You can't find your tribe, you can't find your people if you're not saying, here I am, this is who I am, this is what I like. Those people won't see you unless you're doing that. So you want to embrace collaborating and networking and connecting with other people, but you can't do that unless you're being authentic. So when can you move on? When can you move on from the throat chakra? When do you know that you're ready to move on? I alluded to it at the beginning of the video. When you feel good about sharing your work, when you can speak freely about what you do, you really do feel it. For those of you who are sensitive, you really can feel the clarity. It's an openness right here. Okay. So what comes after the throat chakra? Now that we feel good sharing our work, we're out there, we're talking about what we're doing, we're feeling confident, we're loving it, we're embracing what we want, we're feeling safe. Now we can move on to believing in ourselves.